So when someone goes cold, gets defensive, pushes you away, won't answer your messages, your instinct is probably to push back, to explain yourself, or to pull away too. All of that makes it much worse. I'll explain to you now what's actually happening and what to do instead. So first of all of this requires an understanding of defense mechanisms. And a defense mechanism is not a personal attack on you. It's a protection mechanism someone has built for themselves, usually long before they met you. Coldness, sarcasm, sudden silence, overreaction, all of that is a wall that went up because at some point being open got that person hurt. Once you understand that, you'll stop taking everything so personally. That shift alone will change how you respond. So the mistake that most people make is to try to break through defenses. There's a myth that with enough skill, just the right line, you can break through someone's defenses. This is not true. Most people try to break through defenses. They push harder. They demand openness. They call out the behavior directly. They try to logic someone out of an emotional state. They try to use lines, techniques. They think if they just say the right thing, none of it works because defenses do not respond to pressure. They respond to safety. You cannot force someone to open up. You can only make it safe enough that they no longer feel the need to defend or stay closed. And safety is not warmth or reassurance. Instead, it's two simple things. The first one is no judgment in the vulnerable moment. The second someone shows a crack in their armor and you suddenly rush in to try to exploit it or mock, analyze or dismiss them, the wall will go right back up, thicker than before. Whatever someone shares in a weak moment has to land softly. And what is the most important is that you do not interrogate. Don't push for answers or explanation. Pressure closes people down. Space opens them up. Formula is simple. Be emotionally stable in your own mind. That's what creates safety in another person over time. Another thing is that when someone goes cold or pulls back, most people respond directly to the behavior. Instead, what you should be doing is responding to what's underneath the behavior. Every defensive behavior has a shell and a core. When someone goes silent, the shell is withdrawal. The core is usually that they don't feel safe to say what they actually feel. With someone being sarcastic, the shell is mockery, the core is vulnerability, and they need to know that they're not going to get hurt in this situation with you. Sarcasm is a defense mechanism called intellectualization. Someone overreacting. The shell is the explosion. The core is an unmet need that's been sitting there unacknowledged, likely for a very long time. Don't fight the shell, address the core. So in practice, in real life, when someone acts out, don't match their energy or call out the behavior. Name what they're probably feeling instead. Catch the emotion first. Then, once they feel seen, you can talk about what actually happened. Now, some people do run hot and cold. The next, they're distant and difficult. This isn't manipulation. It's usually just someone who hasn't learned to hold complexity yet. Maybe they can't reconcile that they like you and you frustrated them, so they swing between extremes. Your job isn't to pick a side or to force consistency. Your job is instead to hold both things at once when they can't. Maybe say to them, part of you wants to be close and part of you is angry about what happened last week. Both make sense. When you can name the contradiction without flinching, you show them that it doesn't have to be all or nothing, and that's a genuinely stabilizing thing to do for someone. Trust also doesn't come all at once. People who are very defended don't open up in one moment. They open up in stages. First, they give you something small, a minor complaint, a bit of playfulness, a surface level frustration. That's a subconscious test. How do you handle it? If you handle it well, they'll give you something bigger next time. This is not a fast process. Trying to accelerate it by demanding more openness, by rewarding the first test too enthusiastically, by making a big deal of the progress, will reset it. The move is to receive what they give, respond well, and let the next thing come naturally. And there's one important thing that people miss, and that's that how someone behaves with you is partly a function of the environment that you create. If you're reactive, they'll become more guarded. If you're unpredictable, they'll stay defended. If you take their difficult moments personally and retaliate, even subtly, they'll learn that vulnerability isn't safe with you. But if you stay steady when they're in an emotional storm, not cold, not distant, just stable, they learn that their feelings don't destroy you. But conflict doesn't mean abandonment, that they can show the difficult parts and still be okay. That's not a small thing. For a lot of people, that's a completely new experience. So stop trying to break through defenses. Create the conditions where they're no longer necessary. That means when someone acts out, respond to the need underneath, not the behavior on the surface. Don't pressure people to open up faster than they're ready to, and stay stable when things get emotionally intense. Don't counterattack. Don't disappear. Name contradictions calmly instead of forcing people to pick a side. And be honest about your own limits, not as a threat, but as information. You could say, I want to be close. I won't always respond instantly, but I will respond. That kind of clarity builds more trust than constant availability. Defenses don't disappear. They become unnecessary. When someone consistently experiences that being open with you is safe, the walls don't need to be there anymore. That's not something you can demand or shortcut, but it is something you can build, one steady, non-reactive moment at a time.